Hello, friends. How are you doing? It is a lovely day here, starting to feel like fall, which is fun because I can get all my sweaters back on. I love wearing sweaters. Um, let's talk today. We're talking about how to pick the right curriculum. Before we dive into that, let's pretend for a minute. Let's pretend that you are going to be bringing me dinner. First of all, thank you. I would really appreciate that. But let's pretend you need to bring me dinner. Do you know what to make me? Do you know what I like? Do you know what I don't like? Did you know I can be a little weird with food sometimes? I actually struggle with eating food that doesn't look very pretty. I embarrassingly have actually cried in a restaurant when I ordered. We were at a Peruvian restaurant and all the food looked really weird. So I pointed to a picture that looked the prettiest and said, I want this one. And it came out and it looked so gross and ugly that I burst into tears. Now, in my defense, I was super pregnant and I get really, really emotional when I'm pregnant. But if you saw this, even the people there who were like, it was good, pretty good, but you're right, it did look disgusting. It looked like somebody had taken all the chicken, chewed it all up with a bunch of green stuff, and then spit it out on your plate. It was bad. Anyway, how would you know what I like and don't like? You could ask me, but if you know me really well, you will just know what to make me. You would know it needs to look pretty. You would know that I don't like spicy food. That certain foods can't be touching, right? You may know I love breads. I love most meat. I love like veggies, yummy salad, anything like that. You would know like what to make me. You would also know I don't eat dessert. So you wouldn't even bother to bring that over to my house. So I used this analogy the other day with a client when she told me she didn't know what curriculum to pick for her son because she doesn't know what he likes. And I have thought a lot about this comment. It is very challenging to pick a curriculum for somebody you don't know really well, just like it's hard to make a meal for somebody you don't know very well. You can make some general guesses, pick something that a lot of people like, but to have it be really amazing, you need to really know them. I was thinking about my 12-year-old and the books I picked for Unit 1 of our homeschool. They are full of adventure, and he is loving them. On the first day of school, he told me how much he loved his Explorer book and said, I love this so much. I'm probably just going to finish this tomorrow. I also know this kid can't be sitting very long, so his schedule isn't super time intensive, which gives him plenty of time to go work out in the morning with dad or me or and the whole family, all those things. It also gives him time to run around in the yard by himself or with his brothers, with a friend. And we are working in a lot more adventures into our homeschool this year. So, how do you get to know your kid at this level so that picking their curriculum is easy? Picking it is just like picking a favorite treat for somebody you know really well, or picking a favorite meal for somebody you know really well. You're just picking books you know that they are going to really enjoy because you know them so well. So today I want to give you some ideas of things you can do to really get to know your kid. So as you're picking their curriculum, it's just kind of fun and easy, right? Have you ever done that for somebody when like you're at a store? I even love my kids love these breath mints. I think they're just Altoids, but like they're the spearmint kind. They're not like that really intense one, and they love that. So I know if I went and picked that up for my kids and I brought that home, they would be like, "Oh, yes, I love this." And so just like as you have that same idea with this book and you're like, "I know my kid would love adventure," or this one has a romance story in it and I know this certain child would love it, or this one has like pirates or mythology and I know that this kid would really love that. Like it's so fun to give it to him because you're like, "I know you're going to love this. This is going to be amazing." So this is not an all-inclusive list. Just three ideas to get the ball rolling of ways for you to really get to know your kid so that picking their school becomes so much easier. All right, number one, first thing, it is easier to get to know your kid if you like them. Like, let's be honest, when you like someone, you want to get to know their likes and dislikes. You want to know things about them if you actually like them. Now, you may say, Meg, my kid kind of drives me bonkers though. Well, I mean, we could really dive into that with coaching and whatnot, right? And the story you have. But to simplify it, start finding out things you do like about your kid and quit focusing on the things you don't like. Notice the things you do like. Point those out instead, right? So they're really good at playing. They're really good at laughing with or playing a game with, or they're really good at what? They're really fun with what? Finding those things out and then telling them, pointing it out. It's so fun to play games with you. You are just so engaging and so fun. I love going on walks with you. You find the most interesting things, and it is like, I love it. Or I love going on walks with you because of the questions you asked. You ask phenomenal questions, right? Whatever it is you do like about them, point those things out instead of pointing out what you don't like and why they should change them, right? The two great commandments are all about love. And I'm willing to bet you do love your kid, but I want you to actually like them as well. Second, talk about what your kids are interested in. Now, I know that this is not always easy. I have had many clients tell me, like, I just don't care what they're talking about. I get it, but try talking about them. You maybe don't care for the full lineup of the college football schedule or roster or any of those types of things. Or maybe you don't want to talk about all the superheroes and what powers you would have if you could have any powers. Do it anyway. Try to take an interest in what your kids are interested in so you have something to talk about. The other day, my husband noted that I am pretty vocal about not loving TV, and college sports, college football is on. And that is something special that my husband and my boys do together, is to do college game day. And they're really good to get all their chores done and do all of those things. But I've been pretty vocal that, like, I do not love this day and like whatnot. So my husband reminded me, like, you're one of your boys really, really loves sports. So to be careful to not join the two things of saying, like, I don't like the TV on with sports all day, and being careful that he's not joining that with, I don't like him because I don't like sports. And that was a really good reminder for me. So my husband and I had talked about that. And then when I was talking to my boy a different day, I went in and said, hey, what are your favorite teams? Like, do you root for a certain team? And I can tell you now, my boys don't root for a certain NFL team, but they do have favorite NFL players. But they do root for certain college teams. And they went on and told me all about their favorite players and different positions and different coaching things going on. And all of a sudden, my boys were just like all the way in. And I thought, okay, I need to be way more careful about what I'm saying about sports and whatnot. So maybe looking at like something they're interested in, and you can talk about it or you can actually be involved with it, right? So I may not I may not go and watch a full college game, or when the NBA comes back on, I probably won't watch a full game, but watching bits and pieces of it and just like, oh, remind me who that was. Like, what does that do, right? Just as I'm talking to them and connecting with them. Um, if your kid is really into a game or something like that, right? Really into a different book, like maybe you could read that book so it's something you can talk about. So something where you guys can get talking about it, maybe you do the activity together. If you have a kid really into painting, like, hey, can we paint together? Something like that, just to say, like, this is interesting to you. And so I'm going to be interested. I'm going to like that you like it, if that makes sense. Like, I'm probably not going to change my mind and become a diehard sports fan, but I can enjoy it because I see how much you love it. Third one, the last one I was going to say for today, be nice. I think I say this often. I think I said this on the marriage episode. Being nice. If you really want to know somebody and really be their friend and really connect with them, be nice. Stop yelling at your kids and being critical with them. You probably don't keep friends around that would yell at you, calls you names, or is very unpleasant to be around. So if you want to get to know your kid and be their friend, yes, you are still a parent, but you can be a friend also. Talk to them when there are concerns, but don't yell at them or assume the worst of them. Also, with being nice, say nice things about them to other people and to them. Drop labels about them being your hard kid, your difficult kid. So the three things to get to know your kid better so that you can make picking their curriculum easier are: like your kid. Talk about what they're interested in and even take that to a next level and participate in what they're interested in. And be nice. As you try some of these things and get to really know your kid, Picking their curriculum just becomes super fun. Remember, by small and simple things are great things brought to pass. So keep doing these small and simple things, and you will see some pretty amazing things come from it. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you next time.